Are you an accounting or tax professional who wants to stay ahead without spending a dime? Join thousands who trust insightful accountant and tax practice news to keep them informed and empowered. Get expert updates on QuickBooks, Xero, tax planning strategies, and workflow tips delivered straight to your inbox. Whether you're a solo bookkeeper, firm leader, or tax advisor, these newsletters are your shortcut to what's next in the profession. They're free, practical, and built for people like you. Visit insightfulaccountant.com and hit subscribe to start your smarter workflow today for free.
Hey, hello, and welcome to today's App Academy. It is September the 18th, 2025. We are right on the cusp of Q4, and which is really hard to believe. So again, thank you to our sponsors, Fanatical Software, Xero, Mango, and Invoiced for supporting Future Forward, which we did those sessions last week. And then this is an App Academy where basically the sponsors share their tool with you, so you can get just a good close-up of what the tool is and get a good understanding of how you can leverage these tools in your practice. And just one reason we do these is in reader profile studies that we do, we have found people are asking for product demos. And I've got my form right here that I'm looking at. We asked in a survey, we had about 25 different items. Hey, where we asked, hey, what would you like more information on? And consistently in the top 10 over the past, I would say 12 to 14 months since we've had the survey going, consistently in the top 10 has been product demos. So that's why we do these. People tell us they want to see what you're doing. There we go. Got them unmuted. Tim, start the video. There we go.
There it goes.
All right.
I'm in there now.
Good.
All
Gotcha.
right.
All right. This is Tim Sines from Mango. Where are you dialing in from? You look like that may be a little Central American.
Actually, I'm back in North America.
North.
Back from South America. Yeah.
All right. Well, there we go. All right. Well, I will turn it over to you. Thank you.
I have my screen shared. It should be invisible right now to everybody.
Yes, I do see it.
All right, great. Just want to thank everybody for joining today. We're going to give a very, very quick overview of Mango Practice Management. My name is Tim Sines. I'm a CPA. I've been practicing for 36 plus years. Still have a little bit of a small tax practice, so I'm still actively involved. So I kind of know a lot of the challenges that CPA firms face in managing their practice. Back in the day, I had 7 people in my firm, down to 2.5 right now. So we're going to kind of go through some of these tools that Mango Practice Management has to help you manage your practice better. Mango Practice Management is a all-in-one solution. I'm going to start here from the left and go across the menu on the top here to the right. Just to kind of give you an overview of what Mango does for your practice. What you're looking at here now is just a company dashboard where you can see your revenue this month, last month. It's a nice little tool to see, where you're at, revenue-wise. We have the same thing for receipts. So are you ahead or behind for cash collections? And then there's a nice little feature here for staff. You can select staff, can see what their unbilled revenue is, what their realization rate is, what their GPM is, and what have you written up or down for that particular staff. So nice tools in here for getting some nice overview, a high-level overview of what's going on within the firm. So starting here from the left, every staff that logs into the platform has this dashboard. These are to-dos, or basically gets rid of the sticky notes on your desk. A lot of people use it for centralized calling, scheduling, giving messages to staff. Very useful. If you scroll down, you can set targets for billable hours for today, the week, the month, the year. Staff can come in here and see, are they at or near the target for the week for their billable hours, and then some other features they get here on their dashboard, which are nice. Moving across here, a lot of people are going to live in the client view. We call this a client 360 view. Very useful. You can see everything that's going on at the client level. I can see the engagements that I'm engaged to do for this client. Invoices, I have 7 open invoices, and you get just a ton of information here on your invoices. You can re-email from here, for example. You can preview it. I mean, if I just grab an invoice and, oh, that's a credit memo. I could have grabbed a better one here, but if I want to preview the invoice, I could preview the invoice easily. And we have a nice feature. You can actually look at time behind the invoice. So all time that's relieved from WIP against the invoice, that'll always be associated with that invoice for the write-up and the write-down. And you can drill down here and see how payments were applied. Very nice. Payment history. Again, you can drill down and see how maybe one payment was applied to 5 different invoices, whatever it might be. WIP is all here at the client level. I can drill in and see my time for the 1120S, who did what. I could reassign time if need be. I can update billing rates, a lot of functionality there. All the client contacts are in one place. You can email that client contact from here. You have all their bio information, note history. If you want to copy and paste tax research or anything out here at the client level that you may have done, any notes you want to keep, you can keep them out there. You can also attach documents to these notes, which are nice. Email log. This is very nice for anything that goes out of Mango, whether it be an invoice, a statement, or whatever. It will live here, and you'll know if it was delivered and opened by your client. We also have another event. It's called Click. So when your client clicks to pay an invoice, that event will show up in here as well. And then, of course, since we do project management, which we're going to cover here in a moment, any open projects, active projects will come in here, but you can also go get any completed projects for this client. And you could just click any one of these links and go right to all the projects for this client or just to that particular project. So very useful. Since we do integrate with Outlook and Google Calendar, all events come in here. It's a nice feature for medium, even large firms. They can see who met when with a client, all past, present, future appointments. You now have that visibility at the client level. We do support budgets. So if you want to set up budgets at the client level, budget for engagement, for example, you can do that. And one of the added benefits of using budgets in Mango is you will get capacity planning. So the very, very useful tool for large firms that need to manage staff time. If you have a staff that left, you need to reassign tasks. Maybe you're doing round robin for tax returns that come in and you need to assign the unassigned tasks. Very easy to drag and drop with our dashboard to assign tasks to different users. So using budgets within the system gives you that added benefit that you now get capacity planning. And I showed you the to-dos on the dashboard, but what's nice is if there are any to-dos open or closed, they would come in here and you could see, all the little to-dos that you had. This is aside from project management. Project management is mainly for managing due dates within the firm, workflows, who's doing what to get that project. And these are normally just one-off things that you need to do for the client. So this is a nice 360 view where you can get all this information. We do handle engagement letters. Very good feature for doing your engagement letters electronically. You can set up your templates at your firm level. We do offer some that from a master library that you can bring into your firm library. So services, we have a ton of services we have by default and terms, et cetera. You build your proposals, which become engagement letters, and you can now see what stage they're at. So what's in draft, what's ready to email, what's been sent to your clients. So the idea here is as you do a proposal and engagement letter, it's going to go through all these steps. You're going to send it. They're probably going to open it and then sign it. And then you can also have some engagements set to auto renew with a percentage increase, for example. So any engagements that are set to auto renew, you could come in here and review those engagements. You can change whatever you need to on those engagements. It's just a staging area so that these clients have these engagements that are set to auto renew, and you can make modifications before you resend it out for the new term. And then any engagements that are ending within 30 days will show up in this tab, ending soon. And then you can review those, make changes, and then get those engagement letters out. We have a nice little dashboard. We show you the value of those engagements, and you'll see what's active, what's in draft, what's been sent, opened, and what engagements have been signed. So nice little visibility there into your engagement letters. One feature we do have, and I've got a filter up here. I want to clear that filter. One feature we do have with our electronic payments that are built into the platform. So all invoices or emails for statements that go to your clients, there is a click to pay. Very convenient for your clients to make a payment. They just click in the body of the email. They're redirected. They're presented with the last four of their bank or their credit card. They don't have to enter that information every single time they're going to make a payment. So clients really like it. They get your invoice, they click, and they make a payment. That payment comes back into Mango applied to the invoice. But what I'm leading up to is we also have this integrated with our engagement letters. So engagement letters can be a no payment request. It's just an engagement letter that's going to spell out the terms of your engagement and the services. You just want your client to accept that, sign it. We also have a one-time payment request. For example, if I have a new client that's coming in with 3 years worth of tax returns, I'm more than likely going to tell that client I'm going to send them an engagement letter, and I'm going to get a one-time payment request. So I can build that into the engagement letter so that when the client goes to accept that engagement letter, part of the acceptance is they have to enter their payment terms. So what will happen is the client is going to do that, and that credit will show back up on the client's account automatically. So now I'm going to go do the work. I'm going to track my time. I'm going to do my invoice, and I'm going to apply that credit to the invoice. So that's a one-time payment request. We have a very, very good feature for onboarding, say, for example, an accounting client, and you want to set up a recurring type of an engagement. We will automatically, on acceptance, if it has payment terms associated with it, we'll automatically set up the recurring invoice with the amounts that you've dictated in the engagement letter. And we're also going to attach a recurring payment schedule. All of that's done right off of the acceptance of the engagement letter. So very, very nice feature there. And what's nice about our recurring invoice feature with recurring payments is that Mango will go collect that money at a designated day of the month. We will automatically create the invoice, we'll associate the payment, and then there's an option to actually release the time against that engagement. So you'll get your write-up or write-down, you'll get the realization on that invoice, which is very, very nice feature. It's basically invoicing on autopilot. We have many, many firms that have monthly accounting engagements. It's fixed fee. It's the same amount every month. They utilize recurring invoicing. Why I'm here in the invoicing, we do have different ways to invoice tax firms, or if you want to do a one-off invoice, you're going to do a manual invoice. If you want to generate a lot of invoices at one time, we have this batch invoicing feature, which I'm going to show you how this is very useful. And then we have retainer invoices. So if you're not going to use the engagement letter to get paid for that one-time payment, you can send out a retainer invoice, and your client will click to pay, and that credit will show up on the client's accounts. We have many firms that use this for progress billing, the retainer invoice. So they basically want the payment to come in to the system as a credit, and then that credit's going to be applied, and you're going to relieve time, against that payment, so to speak. So no matter how you invoice, it's all going to stage up an invoice review. I'll just pop over here. So any invoices that are ready to be delivered to your client will show here. You can actually go in here and look at the time, any time that's associated with that invoice. I'm just making this a little bit bigger so it's more visible. But if I scroll down, there was the standard billing amount. Here was the invoice amount, and there was the write-up of $725. So you get all this information at the client level, various areas within the programs. It's very, very easy to get to this information. If you need to make edits to the invoice, you can do. The idea here is you want to generate your invoices, and then here's where you review them, and then when you finalize, anything that's set to email will get emailed to your client in batch. Anything that's set to print, in this example, I have one that's set to print, that will get printed and you will mail it the old-fashioned way. But for the most part, firms now are emailing out invoices. And once I finalize, all of these will clear out of invoice review because this is just a staging area to review before you deliver to your client. We do have a very, very cool feature that you can actually apply time to invoices after the fact. So, it becomes useful if I do a tax return, the client calls and I spend an hour explaining passive losses or whatever it might be. If I want to track that time, I can either bill the client for that additional time, or I can apply the time to an existing invoice and we'll adjust the realization on that invoice for you. So it's a nice way if you have time sitting in WIP. If you're going to bill it out, fine. But if you want to apply it to an existing invoice, you can do that as well. Let's go through the time tracking. So, we cover, as far as, a practice management solution, all the core features that you're going to need. Time tracking is very, very important. Getting your invoices out timely and easily to your clients to make payment is also important. But let me go through the time tracking features of Mango. Excuse me. Let me grab a sip here. Talking very, very, very fast in a short period of time. So this is what we call timesheet entry. I'm the logged in user. It's defaulting to me, but anybody with permissions can view anybody's timesheet. The idea here is I'm focused on 9/18 today, and I want to build out my timesheet for today, and I want to make sure all my time's accounted for, whether it be to a client or to the firm or an admin, what we call non-billable time. You just can't, it's not time not going to a client. You can navigate to any day just by clicking these tabs. You can also navigate to a previous week. And you can use these arrows and navigate back this way as well. So very, very easy to review time in the system. And when I want to go back to today, I just click today. And now I'm back to today. If I want to add time, excuse me. If I want to add time into the system, I'm just going to type any part of my client name. I'm going to select my client. It's going to bring in any engagement that I need to track time for. Say I'm working on the 1065. Just start typing any part of the activity. We narrow the list. I'm doing tax prep. If I want to log, for example, actual time 3.1, we do support the 6, 10, 15 minute, whatever increment that your firm uses. And we'll put in the billable time. We do have a very cool feature with shortcuts that you can set these up. So let's say I'm working on the 1065. We're going to put all this text in there for you. This is supported in billing as well, note taking. All throughout the program, we have these shortcuts that are available. We call them shortcuts that which is 20. So a lot of cool features in just for getting time in. I'm going to say that there's that time entry on my. And I save and close, and that's how easy it is to get time in. So that is our timesheet entry where you're really focused on the day, but you can navigate the other days. We also have a time card. So now I see my whole week at a glance. Useful for if you're working on the same engagement for the client, same activity. I'm at Thursday. I did some work on Monday, 2.25 hours. I want to just log maybe another hour, and maybe I had a phone call. So I can just put time in right on this grid and update it. And I've just created time entry. So this is useful for seeing your week at a glance to make sure you've got all your time accounted for. And if I want to add a row, I can actually put time in right here onto this time card as well. For those that want to track their time live, let me go back to timesheet. And I'm now going to just start a timer. So I'm going to add a timer, start a timer. And let's say I'm tracking something for this client, 2600 Matthews. And what am I working on? Their 1065. I'm doing tax preparation and I just want to save it. So I can have as many timers up here as I want during the day. I can pause these, I can add timers. When you add another timer for a client, we have a feature to auto pause. You can turn that on or off. So if there are any actively running timers, you don't have to worry about pausing it. We'll pause it for you. If you forget to start it after a timer's been paused, you can easily edit this timer. So I can add hours and minutes. I can modify my description if I want to. And now I'm going to start incrementing at 2 hours and 3 minutes. So I can save these as I'm working during the day, or I can keep them open. And if I do a save all, it's going to commit all of these timers to my timesheet. So there's that record I just added in here for 2 hours and 4 minutes. So very, very easy to track time for your staff. Very easy to get time into the system. And then of course, now you want to do your invoicing. All right, so I'm going to show you manual and batch. Both firms use all of these. I mean, they utilize all of them. More than one way to get an invoice out to your client. So I'm going to call up this 2600 Matthews. And what it's going to do, there's a lot of features here on this screen alone. I can see the invoice amount. We built it automatically. You can see the open time, $11,775, which equates to down here. If there's any credits, they're going to show. The balance is going to show. The last invoice is going to show. I can bring in my time through a specific date. So if I want to cut this off through 8/31, I could do that. I could bring it in for a certain staff or a certain engagement. We built the invoice for you. These are all the invoice descriptions for a narrative. Now, if you're doing a detail, obviously we're going to show the time records, but these are your narrative descriptions, which can be edited however you want. But I don't want to invoice for all these. So let's just take them off the invoice, uncheck them. And now I'm just going to do an invoice for a 1065. There it is. If I want to review the time, so I have $1,625, 6.5 hours worth of time. As you can see, this was a fixed fee engagement. So it automatically brought in the 1,050, the fixed fee, and it automatically is showing me the write up and write down. But I'm not willing to write off 575. Maybe I have something in the engagement letter that says if there's extra time. So I'm going to change that to 1,700. And now you see the write up and the write down front and center. So very, very visual, very, very easy to use. And if I want to quickly see what I've invoiced previously for this tax return, I have all of that right here while I'm doing my invoice. You can change the template. What style invoice do you want to give your client? How do you want to deliver it? Do I want to print it? Do I just want to record it? What are my terms, upon receipt or whatever the terms are? So the idea here is, again, to be able to do your invoices quickly, easily. I'm going to go ahead and clear this, and I'm going to do it in real time. Let's go ahead and just bill out that 1065 engagement. I just want to get this invoice out to the client. I've done the tax return. I want to bill them $2,000 for that tax return. I'm going to write my time up, $375. Let's just go ahead and save it. Go straight to invoice review. And there's this invoice for $2,000 down here. And then I would finalize, and that invoice would get emailed out to the client for payment. Let me show you, I'm going to bounce back to the client here real quick, just to show you what your client sees, what it looks like. So your client is going to see, hey, Tim, you've received an invoice. Here's the recap of the invoice. They just click this button, no logging into the portal. They're going to be presented with their credit card or bank information. They click, make a payment, and that payment will come back into Mango. So very, very simple. Let's go to batch invoicing. So this is used for a lot of firms. Maybe they only want to invoice for a certain billing partner. They want to get their invoices out. So I could come in here and cut off my time. I could go get it for a specific billing partner. Maybe I just want to do billing for a certain billing group. I have one client that has 20 LLCs that I want to do the billing for. I could just bring in that billing group for billing, or a client group, or maybe I just want to bring in all my fixed fee engagements to get those invoices out the door, relieve my time. So a lot of options in here to bring in your whip. If I cancel this, I just brought in my whole universe of WIP, $86,000 worth of WIP. I don't want to bill all this at one time. I want to manage this WIP. So I'm going to come in here and say, hey, I just want to get my accounting out the door. Let me go fetch those clients that have any time with accounting. And I have quite a few here. I'm just going to check the box now. They're all selected. If you notice, we support 2 billing methods. It can either be hourly. You can write up or write down your time. That's fine. Or it could be fixed fee. We'll bring the fixed fee in and we're going to show you the write up and the write down. You have all the same functionality. I want to edit the time. I want to view the time. I may want to reassign the time. I may want to update my billing rate, whatever it might be. You have all that functionality while you're invoicing. And, you can come down here and make your edits to the invoice. And I told the client I was going to bill them $100, or I want to write this down to 100. There's I want to take this to $200. The idea here is this is a nice way to bring in the clients and the engagements and maybe the billing partner, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve with your billing, bring it into this dashboard, make your adjustments, review the invoice history. You have all of that right here as well. So if I want to see what I've invoiced previously, I have it all. Their payment history is all right here. Very, very easy to use. Get you information you need to get your invoices out. The idea is I have all my adjustments, everything that I want. I have $16,000 worth of invoices down here. I process these invoices, and Mango will generate all these invoices in batch, and they will stage up in invoice review, and that's where you'll review them and get those out to your clients. So how are we looking on time? We pretty good? Would I have about another 5-10 minutes?
I think we may be at 20 minutes. 25,
we're at 20
actually.
minutes.
Yeah, we're actually at 25. So we're going to need to wrap it up.
All right, let me do 2 minutes if that's okay. Two
Okay.
more
Yep.
minutes.
Yep.
So we've covered, a lot of the things we do every day: tracking time, getting our invoices out. This is where you do your cash receipts, and of course, if your clients are paying you, you're just going to batch your payments there. Scheduling, it's pretty self-explanatory. We do integrate with Outlook and Google. Our report center, we've got all the reports you can imagine. Performance reports where you can see utilization for your staff. Gary's billed 76%, 24% non-billable. All these reports, write up and write down by clients, so you get realization. Pretty much all the reports you could ever want. Look at all the different aging reports that we have. We have a ton of different agings. Just to recap and wrap it up here, in our project management, we have dashboards where you can track your projects that are due, today, this week. And we have these nice internal due dates. I'm just going to jump right into a project, and I'm going to wrap this up in a minute. But, you can log your work in, and now you have this internal due date. I want to get this tax return out the door in 5 days. So I now have an internal due date of 2/8. This will start showing up on your dashboard due this week, which is ahead of the actual due date. So very, very nice way to manage who is doing what to get this tax return done, who's doing the review, who's doing the tax prep, who's doing the billing, and work these projects through your firm. You can tag these things, which is very nice. You can remove tags. If I'm waiting on the client, I'm missing information, I can change this expectation out 10 more days and push that internal due date out. So a lot more features, more to cover in this short period of time, but you get the gist. This is a very, very nice way for your staff to see what their workload is, how they can manage their workload to be more efficient. And if I switched over here to the task dashboard, they can come down here and say, I have 20 returns to review. I've got 65 that are at the tax prep stage. So they can, at a high level, see everything, where they're at in their workflows with all the clients of what they need to work on. And of course, one last thing, I'm going to wrap it up with document management. It's a full-blown document management, firm side, management of your documents, and the client side. And we have eSig built into that, e-signature, requests for documents, request lists, all kinds of nice features. And I'll wrap up with, if anybody wants any more information, you can go out to our website. We have a lot of information out here. Pricing's out here. And if you need to contact somebody, there'll be some contact information out here as well. So hopefully that is probably the fastest demonstration I've ever done of Mango practice management.
And
I think I got a lot of it in there.
you covered a lot, and clearly there is more to cover. So we certainly encourage people to run out to that website. Is it mangopractice.com?
Mangopractice.com, right?
There we go. So
Yep.
go check that out.